in the luxurious Pacific View hotel on the California coast, where the ocean roars like a wild beast and palm trees whisper secrets beneath the golden sun, two maids worked, Emma and Sophia. Emma, with her thick dark curls always tied back in a careless ponytail, and eyes harboring a storm of untold stories, moved through the corridors like a ghost, silent, yet with an untamed grace. She had fled a small town in Ohio, where her family, as clingy as the roots of an old oak, couldn't accept her true self. You need to be normal, they insisted, but Emma craved freedom like a bird longs for the sky. Sophia, with her chestnut hair cascading in waves over her shoulders and a gaze that could melt the coldest ice, hailed from the chaotic sprawl of New York. There, amid the whirl of lights and noise, her heart had been shattered by a former girlfriend who betrayed her trust for personal gain. "I thought love was forever," Sophia would murmur on sleepless nights, but life had taught her resilience. Both wore identical black dresses with white collars and aprons, uniforms that concealed their unique souls beneath a layer of mundanity. Everything changed on that rainy day when the sky over the ocean darkened, and the hotel buzzed with guests like a beehive teeming with bees. Emma pushed a heavy cart of clean linens down a long corridor, her thoughts drifting to memories of a home that was no longer a home. Suddenly, a piercing scream erupted from the luxury suite. A famous actress, whose films flickered on screens across the nation, accused the maids of stealing a priceless diamond necklace. "It was you. One of you," she shrieked, flailing her arms. The manager, red-faced with fury like a sunset over the Pacific, summoned them both to his office. "Who was in the room last? Tell the truth, or you're out," he bellowed, slamming his fist on the desk. Emma froze, knowing it had been her shift. She'd cleaned there that morning, and fear tightened her throat. But Sophia, this stranger from the next shift, stepped forward without hesitation. "It was me. But I didn't take anything. Check the cameras if you want." Her voice was steady as a rock by the shore, though a flicker of doubt danced in her eyes. Emma couldn't believe it. Why would this woman risk herself for her? Her heart pounded faster, like a drum heralding an approaching storm. After their shift, in the cramped locker room scented with laundry detergent and sweat, Emma approached Sophia, who was removing her apron. "Why did you do that? You don't even know me." "I could have lost my job." Sophia turned, her lips curving into a faint smile, but her eyes were serious. "I've seen how you work, with such care, as if every room were your own home. You're no thief. And I know what it's like to be accused unjustly. In New York, a friend framed me, and I lost everything." They sat on a bench, and words flowed like a river. Sophia spoke of Manhattan's noisy streets, of nights in a tiny apartment where love turned to betrayal. "She left me for someone else, taking my trust with her." Emma, in turn, opened up about her family. "They called my feelings for women a mistake. I left to breathe freely, but loneliness follows me like a shadow at noon." That evening, they stepped out into the rain together, laughing at the absurdity of it all, and that marked the beginning. From then on, their days intertwined like threads in a tapestry. In the mornings before their shifts, they met at a small cafe across from the hotel, where the aroma of freshly brewed coffee mingled with the salty ocean breeze. "Look, that millionaire from the penthouse left another Shakespeare quote," Emma whispered, showing a scrap of paper. "And the couple in room 200, they argue like they're rehearsing a drama," Sophia replied, and they giggled, forgetting the weight of their work. In the evenings, they strolled along the beach, barefoot on the warm sand, collecting seashells and sharing dreams. Emma taught Sophia to balance on a surfboard, shouting with laughter as waves knocked them over. "Hold on. Don't be afraid to fall," she called out. In return, Sophia cooked authentic New York pizza in her tiny apartment, with its crispy crust and melted cheese. "It's like a hug, warm and reliable," she said, and their gazes lingered longer than necessary. Hand brushes during room cleanings grew electric, and jokes carried subtle hints. Yet both hesitated. Emma feared rejection, Sophia dreaded new pain. Drama struck suddenly, like a storm in a quiet night. During a night shift, as the hotel fell silent, a pipe burst in the basement, water gushed forth, threatening to flood the corridors and rooms. Guests panicked, darting about, while the manager shouted orders, "Evacuate everyone! Save the belongings!" But Emma and Sophia stayed behind to retrieve valuable items from the lower floors. In the chaos, amid the splash of water and cries, Emma slipped on the wet floor, striking her head on a step and losing consciousness. Sophia, seeing this, plunged through the torrent, her heart pounding with terror. "Emma! No, hold on," she cried, dragging her friend to a dry corner and cradling her wet body. Tears streamed down Sophia's cheeks, blending with the water. "Don't leave me, please. I can't bear it without you." Emma slowly opened her eyes, seeing in Sophia's face not just concern but a deep, all-consuming fear of loss. "I love you," Emma whispered, her voice frail yet earnest, like a confession in a confessional. Sophia froze for a moment, the world around them fading, only they remained, amid this chaos. Then she leaned closer, their breaths intertwining, and their lips met in a kiss. It wasn't a surge of passion, but a tender, trembling moment. Sophia's lips were soft as rose petals after rain, full of warmth and promise. The kiss stretched into eternity, washing away fears like a wave erases footprints on sand. "I love you too," Sophia whispered as she pulled back, and they clung tighter while water lapped at their feet. Finally, they emerged, soaked and shivering but alive. The manager, witnessing their heroism, not only forgave their delay but promoted them both, admitting, "You saved the hotel." Since then, their love blossomed like a flower in the desert after rain, quietly but steadfastly. They rented a small apartment by the ocean, where they drank tea on the balcony each morning, embracing as the sun rose over the horizon. Work as maids grew easier. Now they cleaned rooms together, exchanging whispers and smiles. But life wasn't a fairy tale. Families called with reproaches, colleagues whispered behind their backs, and old wounds ached like scars in the rain. Emma wrestled with doubts. What if this isn't forever? Sophia reassured her, "We're stronger together." They traveled on weekends, visiting San Francisco to walk the Golden Gate Bridge or simply lying on the beach, listening to the waves tell tales. Their bond deepened in small things, a note on a pillow, an unexpected bouquet of wildflowers, quiet evenings by the fireplace. One stormy night, as the ocean raged, they sat by the window and Emma said, "You're my anchor in this storm." Sophia nodded, "And you're my light." Their story isn't a perfect idyll but a real life, full of trials, yet illuminated by love born from a chance encounter in a world where uniforms hide hearts. In the end, they found in each other a true home, warm, reliable, eternal.